We are at the lake at like 6 a.m. and we're about to make our first cast with a topwater because it's perfect topwater time. So let's get dangling. Hey danglers, the topwater bite was real slow, practically non-existent, unless it was a carp or a panfish. The early morning, which usually brings explosive action, just wasn't happening. I tried a black and chartreuse Guggen popper with barely a swirl. I didn't have any other topwaters on me, turns out. But the fish seemed to be hanging deeper, probably due to the warmer temps and calm conditions. But if you're heading out, don't waste too much time on the surface. Switch to subsurface presentations or deeper rigs for better luck. And it's at this point I'm moving spots because nothing's happening over there. So I cross that bridge and I start fishing. I'm seeing more topwater hits, but nothing that wants to eat my topwater. So I'm at a point where I'm definitely feeling the skunk. I'm thinking the skunk is definitely the future. There is no catching a fish today, which, to be fair, is not a surprise on this lake, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned a little bit later in the video. But I kept trying, and I kept trying. I moved again, still kept trying, and I'm just seeing giant carp explode out of the water, and I'm like, why can't it just be one bass? One, that's all I'm wanting, just one bass. But nothing. Even here, I make a perfect cast. Nothing's interested. So we're gonna be switching up topwater tactics because it doesn't seem like any bass are hitting. I'm seeing a lot of carp. I'm seeing a lot of little brim, bluegill hitting top, but I'm not getting anything. I'm not seeing any big bites, big fish biting. So I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go throw the waders on, grab the 4-weight, which I have a dry dropper set up with a mayfly and a small mayfly nymph. And I think they're both orange, but I'm gonna go crawl into the shallow end back over there and make a few casts and see if we can't hook up on something before we start just casting out our sitting bait and try to catch a carp or a nice catfish. Today we're just fishing. Doesn't matter what for. We're just trying to get something on the line because this is a heavily pressured lake. So much so that when they did the 4th of July tournament here, they had to make sure nobody fished beforehand. So yeah, let's go fishing some more. But yeah, it'll be a minute. I gotta switch up the gear and then I'll be on my way. So we switched to the fly fishing situation. I had a, oh no, that's not where we wanted hooked. We just had a bobber and a squirmy worm jig, and we hooked a behemoth of a green sunfish. Absolute unit. Look at that thing. Holy smokes. Huge green. Now we're gonna let him go. And he's gone. Yeah, just a little bluegill on the same setup, little indicator, bobber, whatever you want to call it, and a squirmy worm jig sinks nicely, so, and they're loving it. Just a beautiful bluegill from a back area creek that says no trespassing. So I'm back here using the 1-weight fly rod. I'm still throwing the same rig, and I catch a little bluegill. Partway through catching the bluegill, it gets swallowed by a largemouth, and I'm fighting it for like 30 seconds or so, and then it finally spits it out. But I really wish I could have caught it out here. It was a super cool situation. I was sure the rod was gonna break. Caught a nice little largie out of this back channel. I'm not supposed to be in. What a beautiful little largie. Kind of skinny though. Definitely needs to get something to eat. Boom. Boom. We are at the end of our fishing trip today. Caught some nice bass, a couple bluegill, one behemoth of a green sunfish. Definitely a new PB on the green sunfish scale for me. Didn't really catch too much on the lake besides the bluegills and green sunfish. But the lake is a heavily pressured spot, so sometimes they bite, sometimes they don't. I'm gonna stand in the shade for a second. So I snuck back off into a little inlet on the lake there, snagged a couple largies, a couple nice largies, a couple two and some change. Didn't hit fish it too much because it is a no trespassing area, and I have been yelled at one other time, so I wasn't gonna test my luck. But hopefully y'all had a good time watching this. I had fun fishing, so tight lines, and I hope you have a great day.